Hey guys, it's Tony and we're back on the bench. And this evening we're going to be getting into doing another disassembly service here on a reel that I previewed recently. So we're looking at an ultralight reel here, if you will. It's an Eagle Claw Blue Pacific number 1225. Okay, these are pretty rare actually. I have worked on some of the bigger versions of this Blue Pacific series, right? But these are, they're nice reels actually. These are made in Japan, and they're just a smooth operator, as is this one really. I picked this up with a bunch of other reels in a lot, and this one caught my eye right away just because of the condition that it was in. It was spooled up with some line. I think the reel was probably used maybe once or twice at the most. Okay, but we're going to get into taking this reel apart and servicing it, and we're going to do a separate disassembly in this video. Got a top drag stack here. We're going to take that apart towards the end probably. Okay, and then looks like we've got a click ratchet here, and I'm not 100% sure if it actually comes off. It might actually be attached to the shaft, and that's okay. All right, but we've got a screw here on the side that has to come out for the handle, so we're going to back that out next. But yeah, this is a nice reel, and my hope is I'll get this ready to actually fish myself now that it's part of my own personal collection. Okay, so we got our handle off there. 3 screws here in these positions. That's the wrong size screwdriver. Looks like they're number 1 Phillips. But for me personally, when it comes to trout fishing, it's all about ultralight gear, and this is definitely in that category of using ultralight gear. And I would say that these Blue Pacifics are probably a better reel that Eagle Claw made. I was more partial to their rods growing up as a kid myself. Okay, so we can tell, this reel hasn't really seen a lot of attention per se. All right, we've got a lot of old dried up grease on there, so we're going to be spending some time off camera, cleaning all this up. This is probably all the original lube, more than less. So we're going to take out this set screw down here at the base so we can get that drive shaft out. You want to make sure that you don't lose these pieces as you're taking this apart. Okay, drive shaft comes out, block. And then we got a crosswind gear down here at the bottom. Pretty simple design. Okay, and then we've got a rotor nut, which might be a 10 millimeter. I think it is. Just want to be careful taking those off because they are brass typically. Okay, but very clean, under the rotor, no doubt. All right, and now we've got access to our ball bearing, and you can see it's nice and shiny and clean actually. There's no problems there at all. I can tell just by default, it's pretty smooth, but we do want to take this out, and in order to do that, we're going to need a pair of snap ring pliers. Okay, so it took me a minute to find my snap ring pliers here. All right, this actually comes as a kit, this particular set, but I highly recommend if you're going to be working on spinning reels, especially of this kind of generation, you're going to need a pair of these at one point or another. All right, and these are made by Channel Lock. They're in pretty good standing for quality, I'd say. I think this ran about 35 bucks for this whole set, and it comes with different attachments and a wrench and some spare set screws in this kit here. So helpful tool when you're getting into this. So we're going to get this in here so that we can get this snap ring out like so. Okay, you really can't get that out without this tool. I mean, yeah, you can pry screwdrivers in there all day long, but you're probably going to end up damaging something in the process. Okay, so ball bearing, and then there's also a sleeve hiding underneath that bearing. Okay, and then we got a ratchet wheel, and then a pinion gear. Okay. All right, so that's obviously the bulk of the disassembly, with the exception of our drag stack, which we're going to have a quick look at right here. I'm actually surprised that this reel was as smooth an operator as it was, given the condition of all this old grease. But, sometimes that can happen where, the old grease just kind of sets in and then it doesn't really hang anything up. Other times it can be the reverse. And it can really stop up your reel in its entirety. Okay, so let's just walk through this drag stack here. So it looks like we got a series of different washers. We got metal washers, Teflon washers, keyed washers. It looks like we've got I'm not sure if it's definitely not a metal washer. I'd just say that that's a fiber washer of some kind. It's not a felt washer. We got a metal washer and then another Teflon washer. Okay, so this is a pretty nice little drag stack. Okay, and then outside of that, okay, we've got some cleaning to do. Okay, so off camera, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be spending some time with the WD-40, and we're just going to be hosing down these pieces here. I'm going to let this start doing some work right now and get a little bit on here. Okay, as well as inside this housing here, we really want to clean up all this old gunk in here, as well as these parts. Okay, so I'm going to be spending time doing that off the camera, and then we're going to come back in a separate video, and we're going to go through all the reassembly in its entirety for this reel. Okay, so thanks again for watching. This is Tony with Back on the Bench. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please make sure you do subscribe and hit the notification button. That way it'll give you all the updates as to when there are new videos being posted. And I do intend to have quite a few more coming out shortly, so make sure you stay tuned for those, and we'll see you next time.